This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. Tunisia's president has fired the prime minister and frozen parliament's activities after violent demonstrations over the country's pandemic and economic situation. Two witnesses told Reuters news agency that military vehicles surrounded the Tunisian parliament building late on Sunday. The president also lifted the immunity of all parliament members Sunday and said he would name a new prime minister in the coming hours to bring calm to the country. Thousands of people defied virus restrictions and scorching heat to demonstrate in the capital of Tunis and other cities. The largely young crowds chanted slogans calling for the dissolution of parliament and a new election. The witnesses said people who had gathered nearby the parliament building cheered and sang the national anthem as military vehicles began to surround the building. The U.S. top infectious disease expert says the United States is in an unnecessary predicament of soaring COVID-19 cases fueled by unvaccinated Americans and the dangerous Delta variant. Dr. Anthony Fauci told CNN on Sunday the U.S. is going in the wrong direction, and he described himself as very frustrated with rising infection rates. He says recommending that the vaccinated wear masks is under active consideration by the government's leading public health officials. Fauci also suggested booster shots may be suggested for people with suppressed immune systems who have been vaccinated. German Chancellor Angela Merkel's chief of staff said on Sunday he fears the number of new coronavirus cases in Germany could soar to 100,000 a day in about 2 months unless many more people get vaccinated, and those who refuse may face restrictions. You're listening to VOA News. Israel hit Gaza with airstrikes on Sunday after incendiary balloons launched from the Palestinian enclave caused fires in the Jewish state. There were no injuries reported on either side. The Israeli strikes targeted an open area in northern Gaza and a militant training site belonging to Hamas rulers in southern Khan Yunis, according to Palestinian security sources. The strikes came after Israel cut by half the fishing zone off the blockaded coastal territory. That's a common response following projectile attacks by armed groups in Gaza. Israel's army had no immediate comment on the airstrikes. But the military branch responsible for civil affairs in the Palestinian territories, known as Kogat, said the fishing zone had been reduced from 12 nautical miles to 6. Earlier Sunday, Israeli firefighters said they extinguished brush blazes at 3 spots in the Eshkol region near the border, blaming incendiary balloons as the cause. On July 12th, Israel announced it was re-expanding the fishing zone off Gaza and allowing additional imports into the Palestinian territory. But at that time, it warned the measure could be reversed in response to fresh unrest. Ethiopia's Amhara state on Sunday called on all young people to take up arms against Tigrayan fighters who are battling the Ethiopian military and forces from all of Ethiopia's other 9 regions. The call for mass mobilization against Tigray People's Liberation Front, or TPLF, fighters expands the 8-month war and instability in the Horn of Africa country. Amhara's military says TPLF fighters are now attacking the state. Calls to the TPLF spokesman for a comment weren't answered. The TPLF rules Ethiopia's northernmost region, where war with the Ethiopian military erupted in November. 3 weeks later, the government declared victory when it captured Tigray's capital, Mekelle. But the TPLF kept fighting. At the end of June, the TPLF seized control of Mekelle and most of Tigray after government soldiers withdrew. This week, the Tigrayans pushed their offensive to Afar, the neighboring state to the east, where they said they planned to target troops from the Amhara region, fighting alongside the federal military in the area. Thousands of people have died in the fighting, and around 2 million have been displaced. Iraq's Interior Ministry said Sunday the Islamist militants believed to be behind last week's deadly suicide bombing of a Baghdad market had planned more attacks. The ministry released photos of 5 suspects arrested, including 3 brothers, after last Monday's attack that, according to the official toll, killed 30 people and was claimed by the Islamic State group. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton, VOA News.